Just change that. See, these two are connected. So anything you type will show up here, right? So if I type hi and hit enter, when I type hi, that will show on my YouTube channel, right? So then I can bring it down, put it somewhere where it's not an annoying pain. Okay, so I can put it up here, something like that. So when you type it, will kind of appear there, and then I can go here. That should show it. And it does. And those two are connected. Alright, so let's do a video and see if any of you will reply. Do I need that one up or is it the other one? It's the other one. So I'll minimize that one there and then I also wanted to have a look at something else.
To embed it into your stream is to click on the squares here, copy the link, you'll see this message up.
No, just go open browser. Easier, faster, and much better. Okay,
Well, we fought and we lost. Well, sort of.
Result of the division is ayes 52, noes 34. The question is resolved in the affirmative.
So that was the moment that the Queensland Parliament passed the e-mobility laws, or sorry, as we pointed out during parliamentary debate, you've got to use the full title. Transport and other legislation, brackets, managing e-mobility use and protecting our communities, brackets, amendment bill. That passed the House on Thursday, the 4th of June, after a 2-day debate, which was quite spirited.
This bill is a cluster, you know what.
Yeah, member, please resume your seat.
When the traffic was so bad, I said, let me out here, mate. I did the scooter on the way back in. It was great.
There was the additional amendment bill was to the original amendment bill that we talked about in a previous video. The amendment bill this week had 122 new amendments. We changed.
if you don't know what this is about, this is the guy representing E stuff, right? So what the government has said, e-bikes and e-scooters now have to travel at 10 k's an hour. Cannot go over that. Have to travel at 10 k's an hour where there are people. Kind of agree with that. Kind of disagree with that. Right? If you're in the city and there's a lot of people around you, yeah, you should be doing less than 10k. You should be just pushing the thing with your foot or walking beside it. But they've come up with all these other crazy stuff that is just a load of thing because little kids have got these big powerful bikes and they've been doing stupid things, watching Saronsta on TV, on the YouTube, copying him and just going nuts. They've now pretty much banned all e-bikes. Everything. So, if you have an e-bike, you may not be able to ride it in the city. Out in the country, away from cars and stuff, yeah, no problem. Like if you live in a bush town or if you're a long way from any civilization, yeah, go for your life. You can ride as much as you want. You'll still die. You'll still get injured. You'll still have the issues, but you won't have the law breaking down your throat, breathing down your throat. So that's if you're unresponsive, stupid. So this guy is trying to get it so that e-bikes, legal e-bikes, are able to travel and do the job. But they're trying to ban legal, illegal, anyone riding them, everything and all about them, and they're trying to make them so incapable that you have to ride a standard push bike. But a standard push bike is just as bad. I mean, these idiots can get on a standard push bike, ride along and smash into people, knock people over, and do all this stuff. Nothing's stopping them from doing it. On normal push bikes, what are they going to do then? I mean, and they've got a rule so that if you're under 16, you need a license to ride an e-bike. But see, they've mixed it all up. They're talking about e-scooters, not e-bikes. But they're calling e-scooters, e-bikes, e-motorbikes, all e-bikes, all e-bikes. So they're labelling them all e-bikes. So they have a rule, for one, it's like a blanket rule for everyone.
Just that original bill. So that should tell you just how bad that original bill was, how wrong they got it. The debate was extremely lively.
Speaker, nothing.
How did they die? They were hit and killed by a car while cycling on the road.
But did the amendments make things better? Well, on the issue of speed limits, there is some wins there. So, as you remember, the previous video that talked about the original bill proposed a blanket 10 km per hour speed limit for e-bikes and personal mobility devices or e-scooters on every footpath and every shared path. And shared paths make up 90% of bikeways in Queensland. So that was one of the main reasons that a lot of people, 5,000 submissions in total, were quite opposed to the original bill. And there are some amendments that have improved that. For one thing, they ditched 10 kilometres an hour and lifted it to 12 kilometres per hour, which was the original footpath and shared path bill speed limit for personal mobility devices. In addition to that, they've dropped shared paths from that. So only on footpaths. So on shared paths and separated bikeways, the speed limit for electric bikes and personal mobility devices is now the same as for bicycles. In other words, there's not really a limit. Personal mobility devices, not quite true. They have a 25 km per hour speed limit. For e-bikes,
changed it to no
extra speed limit than a regular bicycle does. So that's good. However, one exception is that there's a new law introduced, which is that when you're passing a pedestrian on a shared path, an e-bike rider or PMD must slow to 12 kilometres per hour. So picture someone's jogging all around 12 kilometres an hour. You come up behind them on your e-bike. Kind of creepy. You're just going to follow them. You won't be able to pass them. So it's a bit weird. Good thing is that it does explicitly say shared paths. And fortunately, shared paths are actually quite well defined in the legislation, as are bicycle-only paths. Although the Minister seemed to get very confused about that in an interview on ABC Radio, unable to work out that the Bicentennial Bikeway, the busiest bikeway in Queensland, isn't a shared path.
Can you clarify something for me in regards to the Bicentennial Bikeway? The speed limit there was supposed to be, according to the state government, 25 kilometres an hour. What is it? What will it be now if your legislation is passed?
So on bikeways, dedicated bikeways, the speed limit is 25 kilometres an hour. However, on shared paths, and there is a difference. So I think
what's the Bicentennial Bikeway?
So the Velaway, for example, is a dedicated bike path.
Yeah, he just avoided the question.
It is dealt with
he didn't
separately.
really want to
answer
answer
the question. It is dealt with separately. But if we think about the dedicated bikeway, where there is not a mixing of pedestrian.
If you're in this situation, you should not be travelling over like 8 k's an hour, if that. should get off the bike and walk it, or you should just push it with your feet. Because there is no way you can be doing 30 or 40 k's an hour on an e-bike or a normal bike through that. So, caution, people. But the main reason e-bikers and e-scooters, people riding e-bikes and e-scooters have been killed and had damage is because cars don't look. Car drivers don't look. They don't press the middle pedal, the brake, they'd rather press their horn. They pay no attention. They come out of a driveway and whack you. I've had it happen to me. It's happened to me, right? Let me show you how it's happened to me. On the thing out here, I've got to get into my channel to do it. Just give me a sec to get into my channel. Content. I think it was uploaded. I don't know if this is the full one, but this is one of them. There should be another one. I think this one here is the full one. 4 minutes. That must be the full one. Okay, so I was riding, doing Uber, just minding my business, doing what I need to. I entered the roundabout, I looked, I made sure it was safe. I entered the roundabout, and this guy in the white car jumped over the roundabout and hit me. Why couldn't he just hit his brake and go behind? He's got to hit the brake and go behind.
Which is a good thing, because the other bike had blinked his lights, everything, and the people couldn't see me. One person couldn't see me so much.
No, that is not it. That is just me rambling on about something else. That's not it. I had both of my Apple iPhones on my handlebars. This one's the one I'm showing. I'm not sure if it's the cut down version or the normal version. But yeah, you'll get to see what happened anyway. This is what happens. Right, I'm going for a job to pick up an order for someone. Don't know who they are. I just get the job through the mobile and I go do it. So I pulled up there. I looked left and right. The handlebars don't show you that because I didn't turn the wheel left and right. Right, I did all that. I'm going along, stopping for cars, waiting for cars, doing the right thing, Totally in the right. I did nothing illegal. And then I start off behind the car, and this car turns up and whack. Why do you go in front? Go behind.
Are you okay? I'm literally so sorry, dude.
So he just went straight across in front of me.
Oh my god, are you okay?
I'm crossing the freaking thing. And his excuse is, oh, I thought he was going left. I thought he was going left. He wasn't going left. I was not going left. I was going straight across. People always assume you're going left because you're on a push bike. But if you go left and you go left and you go left, you just end up going around in circles. So at this point, I'm lying on the road, thinking I'm dead, not breathing, having a serious issue. So if he had just hit the brakes, went behind me, no problem. Wouldn't have been an issue. But no, has to go in front of me. Can't possibly go behind. 25 k's an hour, everyone goes in front of me. It's too slow. 30, they go behind. And the government want to change it to 10. 25 is the legal limit for scooters. Well, for everyone now, but they seem to have changed it. So you can hear all the people talking. I'm consoling him because he hit me and I'm consoling him. You know? So I just got back on the bike and went and did the delivery. Just had a freaking accident, and she doesn't know. All she knows is that the order is coming. Well, it's going to be picked up, but yeah, people get it like that. Now I'm on the bike.
That's why I'm pretty good. Then coming up from behind me, not looking. Straight up the road. Just in an accident.
I really thought I was dead that day. I really did. But I got up and everything was good. I felt the most amazing I've ever felt when that happened. So, yeah, remember if you're driving a car, look out, use your freaking brake.
And bicycles, but on all those other pathways that your listeners would.
So some slightly better news for kids and families. The original bill banned e-bikes and e-scooters completely for everyone under 16, no exceptions. They have changed that now, that children from 12 to 17, so if you're over 16 but you haven't got your learner's permit yet, but you're not an adult, you can ride an e-bike or an e-scooter under adult supervision. Now this strictly defines adult supervision to parent, grandparent, legal guardian, or another person prescribed by regulation who is responsible for the child. So at this stage, unless that additional regulation is done by August 31, say a cycling coach or a teacher who's leading a bike bus or a older sibling who has a driver's license and an e-bike themselves, or anyone else that's an adult that's trusted to you and your child, they can't supervise your child riding an e-bike.
What is the definition of supervision? If I watch my child ride to school and I can see the school and they're riding and I'm on my front porch, is that supervision? No one knows.
No.
Now, 12 to 17-year-olds in Queensland can ride an e-bike only when they're supervised by a very specific few people, that is their parent, legal guardian or grandparent. So no aunties, no uncles, No teachers or older siblings.
What's even funnier about that is that, say you're a parent, you don't have a
I
driver's
see them
license,
all the
but
time.
you ride a
Whole
regular
line of
bicycle.
kids on
You can
bikes,
supervise your
and
under
they're
16
supervising
child
the
riding
teachers.
an e-bike.
You can't do it.
Make it make sense. So to justify why e-bike riders need a driver's license,
Teachers or older siblings.
what's even funnier about that is that, say you're a parent, you don't have a driver's license, but you ride a regular bicycle, you can supervise your under 16 child riding an e-bike. Make it make sense. So to justify
can't.
why e-bike riders need a driver's license and a regular bicycle rider doesn't, the minister made some spurious comment in his one of his speeches about the extra weight of an e-bike that apparently makes a big difference.
If you want to drive a car, you get a driver's license. The process to get this license involves practical tests to ensure you have an understanding of the road rules and that you possess the skills to control the car. I don't think anyone in this place would argue that this is some form of discrimination. It is a framework that addresses the different risks associated with different vehicles. The fact is that e-mobility devices present a different risk profile than a bicycle due to their additional weight and speed. Therefore, we must ensure that users of those devices have the capability to ride safely.
I'm going to resist making a comment about the extra weight that he would be on a bicycle compared to me, but I think my point is made. There are some implications for regular bike riders as well, and these were in the original bill. So the law does introduce the capacity for police to do a random drug or alcohol test on any rider. So previously police needed to have suspicion that you were riding under the influence to stop you and test you. They can pull anyone over now. So look out for a booze bust on the Bicentennial Bikeway. Good times.
This is
the other thing they're
Brisbane
doing
mostly,
is a
but
bunch of other
it
laws
affects the
that
rest of Queensland too.
toughening
Maybe
penalties
the
for.
whole country.
One of those is not wearing a bicycle helmet. So they're tripling that. So at the moment, the fine, I believe, is $166 or thereabouts. From 1 July, it will be $510.
Look out, you tourists,
So yeah,
dumbasses.
100% believe you should always wear a helmet because $510 is just way too big a fine.
Or
Don't risk
hospital or
yourself getting
death.
fined.
I mean,
So I attended Parliament on Wednesday evening to watch some of the debate when it was the amendment bill was first introduced into the House, and it was disappointing to see how our parliamentarians behaved, to be perfectly honest. So the first thing that happened was that the Shadow Minister moved an amendment motion, basically suggesting that the 122 amendments that Parliament had just been given 2 minutes before debate started, hadn't had a chance to review, should go back to committee for another review. Of course, the LNP didn't like this, and so they kicked up a bit of a stink. So that didn't fly. So then we got into the speeches about the bill proper, and it was from the LNP side. It was just speech after speech. It was quite shrill. It was sometimes quite emotive and hysterical. Usually very much focused on e-scooter issues and electric motorbike issues. Hardly anyone mentioned any problem related to electric pedal assist bicycles for some reason, because they're not a problem.
Between 2022 and 2025, more than 6,000 e-scooter related injuries were reported.
Tourists increasingly have to dodge high-powered e-scooters.
Paths and tracks are being so dominated by e-scooters.
We've seen thousands of scooter-related injuries.
They sat around and did nothing, Mr. Speaker.
Between 2022 and 2025, more than 6,000 e-scooter-related injuries were recorded across 36 Queensland hospitals, Mr. Speaker. I remember one incident I attended as a police officer recently where I was called to a matter involving a young person riding an e-scooter alone to school.
The only time that really came up was in a dismissive way to counter people's complaints about not being able to ride e-bikes.
And then to hear the stories, oh, well, young people aren't going to be able to have an electric bike or a pedal-assisted bike. Well, boo-hoo. I mean, I managed to raise 4 young men in an era where there were no mobility devices or electric bikes, and it was good exercise for them.
Real boomer energy. But more infuriating were the slanderous accusations towards Bicycle Queensland, and by association, myself and other bike organisations really pushed to make everyone aware of how bad this bill was, being accused of a deliberate scare campaign.
However, the submissions and subsequent public campaign by Bicycle Queensland opposing the bill were both disingenuous and unhelpful, and did little to advance the cause of its membership who, by and large, are not impacted by the bill.
It also caters for the fear that was created by Bicycle Queensland.
Bicycle Queensland is chaired by a former Labor Transport Minister, Rachel Nolan. Remember her? Queensland Rail's not for sale?
Rachel Nolan. We all remember Rachel Nolan. Remember Queensland Rail? Yeah, Queensland Rail not for sale. Labor Transport Minister, now chair of Bicycle Queensland. Where are they getting all of their information from? And now she's feeding them all of this rot.
What? The fact is that they came back with 122 amendments to that original bill, all related to the issues that Bicycle Queensland, myself and the bicycle community raised concerns about. And I think that's scaremongering. I think that's called telling the truth. And honestly, if publicising the black and white details of what's in the bill was a scare campaign, guilty as charged, Jimbo. So that campaign basically triggered more than 5,000 submissions to that bill review. And that led to the amendments that we've got. That's turned this bill from being an absolute catastrophe to a mere disaster, just turning Queensland into the most regressive and most oppressive place to ride an electric bicycle in the world. Opposition members debated valiantly to get a 38-page document with 122 amendments just minutes before debate. Is this democracy? And on a personal note, I appreciate the shout-outs from a few of the MPs in their speeches, including my own local MPs.
But I want to be crystal clear about the difference between pedal assist e-bikes, which are simply bikes, and the e-motorbikes, which are wreaking havoc across our communities. In the words of Chris from Western Suburbs Bug, e-bikes are bikes.
So to put it simply, as stakeholders got it, but the LEP just didn't seem to. I know that the chair mentioned Butcher's paper. We don't need to draw pictures. Chris Cox from Brisbane West Bicycle User Group said it best, and I quote, electric pedal assist bicycles are bicycles. They do not make you ride faster, they help you ride further.
Chris Cox from Brisbane West, from the Bicycle User Group, who joins us in the gallery, and I thank those members in the gallery who represent our bicycle user groups who are here today, who apparently spread this misinformation campaign. I thank them for joining us in the gallery and let them know that Labor opposition team have listened to your concerns. Perhaps the government wasn't listening, but we've certainly listened.
And also Christian Rowan, who I don't like his vote, but he acknowledged my advocacy, and his speech was probably the least shrill of all the LNP speeches that I saw.
At the outset, I acknowledge that this legislation has generated a significant community discussion and debate. It is a complex policy area and one where there are genuinely diverse views held by Queenslanders. In my own electorate of Moggill, many residents are regular cyclists and active transport users, and organisations such as the Brisbane West Bicycle User Group have engaged throughout this process and have provided considered and extensive feedback on aspects of the bill.
Now, what this issue really did was it mobilised people to get busy and get active who normally just wouldn't get involved in any kind of activism, any direct advocacy. People who just, they live their lives, they just ride their bike and their e-bike, and they don't really see an issue. They like the infrastructure when it comes along, but they don't push. This angered people. This hit at the core of people's being. This hit at a deep injustice. It was attacking people's way of life that they were just doing safely. Suddenly, they were being criminalised. And boy, did it make people angry. And remember, at no stage in this process did anyone make the case that legal e-bikes are the problem. Almost all discussion was about the illegal e-motorbikes that we see doing ride-outs on commercial TV because it makes such great footage, and the e-scooters, which make up an alarming number of admissions in hospital, largely because they're new. They're rising because they're growing in popularity. And while this bill does introduce powers for police to seize and destroy these illegal electric motorbikes, there's still going to be ride-outs. And every time someone is out there, or every time there's footage of one of these ride-outs, I hope people ask Jim, how the fuck did you get this so wrong? How the fuck did you fail this?
The problem is that this bill is still a complete dog's breakfast, and the member for Bartram cooked it. Premier Crisafulli, as clueless on this as his minister, waved it through. The LNP party room, equally clueless, backed it in. Now the minister trudges into the chamber with 122 last-minute amendments to patch up the mess he took 18 months to create. That tells us the bill was defective from the start, Deputy Speaker. How do the police enforce a rule that the minister can't explain himself on ABC radio? What hope do our police have? At his Bicentennial Bikeway media conference, the minister told the media that shared path speed limits would be 25 kilometres an hour. His own spokesperson then embarrassingly had to correct him. This is on the week of his own bill. The minister could not even get through his own press conference without misrepresenting his own legislation. If he cannot explain his speed limits, how does he expect active transport using Queenslanders to follow them?
Without increased resourcing for QPS and increased funding for active transport networks, trauma will still be experienced. And the battle between decades of efforts to transition away from cars to reduce parking rage and congestion and ensuring safer pathways and biking will continue.
What Bicycle Queensland told the committee was scathing. They said the government had confused the inquiry process with genuine consultation on the specifics of the bill. It is little wonder that members of this bad LNP government sat in this House last night and continued to deride bicycle user groups, even when they sat right there in the gallery, Deputy Speaker. The government should have actually listened before drafting the legislation.
In Queensland, a 15-year-old can now fly an aircraft solo, but they can't ride an e-bike by themselves. They can leave school and work full-time, but they can't ride their legal pedal assist e-bike to that same job unsupervised. They could be sentenced to life imprisonment. They can get a gun licence and go target shooting or hunting. But according to this government, they're not cognitively capable of riding a pedal assist bicycle unsupervised. It is absurd.
Please, for the love of God, actually do some meaningful consultation with the people of Queensland before you bring these half-baked proposals into the Queensland Parliament. As parliamentarians, we are imploring the government to stop throwing last-minute, badly written amendments into the chamber.
And honestly, opening the second reading debate on World Bicycle Day, it's
meaningful consultation.
How's it going, everyone? John here, and welcome back
every damn thing I'm saying. So this is the video I wanted to present to you. Okay, it's still processing. This is my website that I've made for my new business. This is the website that it goes to, as I just showed you. These are all videos of different things. I've got to correct that because that had a good video on it. Now it's gone for some reason. This one here is how to get. If you get this one, you get the app and you get the business. Now you can get the app and just have everything the app gives you, or you can get the business. You get the business free anyway, no matter what you do, as long as you do it with this one. If you do these two, you only get a small percentage of what you need to do. All working away. So he's the head guy of the team. He's going to explain a lot to you. Now this is how to purchase the Newcom app. It's all US dollars too. So that's all you do. You go there. It tells you all about everything. It's quite good. That's the leader of our team. Every Wednesday night we have the leader, and then if you don't want to register, just click get the app. All you need to do, get the app. Go here, go down. You can watch all these videos and these things here. They're all the companies we work with. This company works with. They're all the channels on the app. This is the app on your phone. You pay for it and then download the app to your phone. And then every night you can sleep with it. Every day you do stuff with it. It makes your day better. It makes everything better. It's like a superpower. And then you have this one here, which is the monthly. And this one here, which is the yearly. The other two are not really worth the bother, in our opinion, right? So, in our opinion, they're just not worth it. It's United States dollars. Okay, so Australian it's about 60. American it's 42 American, almost 43. Okay, so you can do all of that. There's all these different countries that it's available in. We are pretty much worldwide. So, yeah. All these countries are where it's available. So if you live in one of these countries, you can get the app. Now, the app is like like when you go to a shop, there is a front of the shop. That's the app in this case. So our app is like the front of the store. So you do that, and then you, and that's pretty much it, really. This thing is doing such weirdness that I don't know which is whether it's going to even open it. But I can open it by doing this. Copy link. Now this one is just released today. Well, I've only seen it, the first time I've seen it was today. Hold on. Not the video. Putting your name in there, register. I'm just telling you what I just told you a few minutes ago. This is Money Mindset. It's now available in preening in the app, but you must have the app. Everything starts with the app, everything finishes with the app, everything to do with this is in the app. It all has to do with the app. So the app gives you access to everything. Just like when you walk in the door at Woolworths, it gives you access to everything in Woolworths. Same thing. We are looking at money mindset by the apparently. This is Newcom's. Newcom gives me these every day, so why not utilize them? Why not let you see what I see, and maybe you generate some interest. I don't know. So if you are interested, visit the link. Go through. You visit the link. It's got more videos on there, more about what I do. And then you go down to the bottom and you can put in your name that and register, or you can just hit get the app. Everything starts with the app. Everything focuses around the app. The app is the most important thing, and it's not expensive. So give it the go. Right, let's see what this is.
I am Jim Poole, CEO of Newcom, and I'm delighted to share with you a new program in the mobile app that dropped today. It's Inside Priming. And if you spend any time inside priming, you'll be really excited and delighted to see the collaborations we have and who we choose to collaborate with. Beginning in 2017 with Tony Robbins, expanding upon our collaborations, we now have 4 collaborations inside the Newcom mobile app: Certainty and Gratitude, and
the mobile app is our product. They do a whole heap of actual physical products too, but you can only get them in the US. The mobile app is the product, and the products, you know how companies have shelves and shelves of products that you pay a bit for. With this, you get the app, and products just come into your app. Like products just appear on your app. It's brilliant. Don't have to pay any monthly, well, you have to pay a monthly fee for the app, but you don't have to pay for anything else. So, why not?
And priming and Priming Plus. And the Priming Plus includes the breath work Tony's doing. In 2022, we began a collaboration with Jim Quick. There are several tracks inside the Newcom mobile app featuring Jim Quick. One of the favorites across the globe is Wake Up with Jim Quick. In 7 minutes, you can change your thought pattern and you can intentionally direct how your mind operates as you start the day by overriding the amygdala in the worry center, which is the first thing that wakes up in your brain, and taking command of it simply by listening to 7 minutes with Jim Quick and our 40 hertz priming physics. In September, we collaborated with Roger Love, the world's leading voice coach, and people love it. People have caught on that this isn't about being a singer. It's about gaining command of your voice as the method we use to communicate. That's amazing. And I know that when you do the 15 minutes of Rogers or the 12 minutes with Madison Amico Love every morning, there's an endorphin high, there's an oxygenation, there's a comfort and a confidence, but there's incredible gift of an openness of the chest cavity and the throat. There's no nasality in your talking. You're gaining command and confidence in how you articulate who you are and how you represent yourself to the world. Then we launched functional mandibular diaphragmatic integration with Dr. Neil Bulchandani, one of the world's leading expert in the space, all about how functionally and structurally your mouth impacts your skeleton and your alignment and your pain. And just by doing 10-minute exercises daily, you can restructure all these elements. We're getting great feedback from people all over the globe using it and having tremendous improvement in their pain management and their structural alignment, their spinal issues, their issues with their hips, their knees. Amazing. And now we have our 6th world-class collaboration with a gentleman I hold in high regard, someone I've known for more than a decade, and many of you have his books in your home. This is the author or co-author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, one of the most prolific authors in the history of the world, and just a fine gentleman, an expert in transcendence of money, of intention, of success, of ambition, an incredible arc to his life story. And he's been out there for years on stages across the globe, inspiring people to go follow their dreams, go through their obstacles, achieve their ambitious goals, and be successful. So we created a collaboration that's 9 minutes long, simply with a headphone. It's called Money Mindset with MVH, and that is Mark Victor Hansen. You are going to love it. You know, there's no reason that we as a human should have a bad relationship with money. It's a tangible piece of crane stationery or a coin. Why does it have such command over us? Why can it impact our stress and our worry and our sleep and our relationships and our gut and our cortisol and our digestion? I mean, money has a lot of negative influence on a lot of people's lives. Wouldn't it be nice if you could restructure the circuitry and the relationship that you have with money and turn it into a positive, turn it into a state of abundance and ambition? That's what this is about. So we're delighted to be adding our 6th world-class collaboration, Inside Priming. There's not another neuroscience company in the world that does what we do. So we stand alone there. But I would challenge anybody to say, what other product do you have in your hand where you can get access immediately to world leaders in their field, like Tony Robbins, Jim Quick, Roger Love, Madison Amico Love, Dr. Neil Bulchandani, and Mark Victor Hansen? I don't know of any. You put the headphone on, you select how you want to feel and think. Our physics elevates your brainwave frequency to 40 hertz. 40 hertz is a high level of mental acuity, self-awareness, and learning. And those words come and imprint into your soul. And that activity is true learning and behavioral modification. We change your behavior. It's not just walking around the neighborhood, listen to something, and before you know it, a squirrel runs out and you're like, hey, what about that squirrel? And you're not even engaging with the words. But when your brain's at 40 hertz, you can't help but engage. That's why these collaborations are so powerful and long lasting. So welcome to Money Mindset with Mark Victor Hansen, Inside Priming. This is our 4th launch of this year, which is going to turn out to be our most prolific year. And the last couple of years have been substantial. We already launched, if you recall, on January 20th, 119 hours of patented neuroacoustic software, 3 new products, Deepest Sleep Plus, and Priming, and the stress test in the app. You now have medical grade sensitive and accurate measurement exactly how your nervous system is performing through a 35-second recording that captures over 1 million data points. I mean, that's amazing. You don't pay a penny for it. March 10th, Rescue 40 VT for vagal tone. Tremendous, amazing, and quickly became the most popular program globally. And we're tracking at up to 2.4 billion minutes around the world right now. I mean, it's amazing what's happening. And then April 14th, Phase Shift with Dr. Neil Bulchandani. And now today, May 28th, Money Mindset with Mark Victor Hansen. Let's change the relationship we have with money and let's go achieve our goals and knock down the obstacles that have been getting in our way and staying in our brain. No, it doesn't need to be that way, and it won't be. Enjoy and take care of yourselves.
Okay, so that's Money Mindset. I listened to it. I'm not sure about it. On this one, I went to a different one after it, but it turned out to be a bit, not what I want. Okay, so, yeah, that's it. I'll play games a bit later because it's Saturday, so it's basically game day. I haven't actually set up the chat to actually speak when you